Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, if you've been sitting around waiting for a sign, some magical spark, or the absolutely perfect moment to finally start making progress toward your goals, I'm here to tell you to throw that waiting game right out the window. Today, we're taking a really hard look at the gap between who you are right now and who you actually want to be. The theme of this Explainer is simple, but it is brutally honest. Stop waiting, start becoming. You know, it's so incredibly easy to tell ourselves we'll start on Monday, or maybe the first of the month, or, when things finally settle down. But let's be real, that perfect tomorrow, it never arrives. So let's get right into it and break down exactly why that is.
Stop looking for motivation. I know, right? That sounds completely counterintuitive. We live in a world that's just obsessed with finding the right muse, feeling the perfect emotional spark, or waiting to watch that one perfectly edited video before we take any action at all. But here's the harsh truth right out of the gate. Relying on some external feeling to dictate your internal progress is a total trap. It's an illusion that keeps you perpetually stuck right there on the starting line. I mean, think about it. How often have you sat around waiting for the mood to strike, only to realize the entire day has just slipped right by? Motivation is fleeting, and honestly, waiting for it is a losing strategy.
Okay, let's dive into this and completely flip the script. If you aren't supposed to be looking out the window for some magical wave of motivation, where exactly do you look? Well, you start looking in the mirror. Look, it's completely natural to feel frustrated when you feel stuck in life, for sure. But your stagnation isn't due to a lack of external stimuli or the universe failing to inspire you. The solution, the actual catalyst for any real transformation, is entirely internal. It's literally just you and your reflection. We've got to realize that the engine for our progress is built entirely in-house.
Think about this for just a second. The person you've been waiting for is already standing in front of you. There's no savior coming to do the heavy lifting for you. There's no secret mentor who's going to suddenly appear, drag you out of bed, and force you to do the work. You are the architect of your own rescue. This is all about radical personal accountability. The hero of this story, the one with the actual capability to change your trajectory, is already there, staring right back at you every single morning while you brush your teeth. When we really break it down, we have to look at the exact trade-off we're making here. We constantly rely on these crutches, don't we? We tell ourselves we absolutely need perfect conditions to launch that project. We convince ourselves we just need a little more free time in our schedule. Or we wait around for a boss, a partner, or a friend to basically give us permission to start. But reality is completely uncompromising. What you actually need, one decision. You just need to make the singular, heavy choice to stop making excuses. It's all about shedding those empty reasons we use to stay cozy and comfortable in our inaction.
And once you strip away all those excuses, you're left with a fundamental law of achievement. Every dream has a price. This isn't a metaphor, and it's definitely not some cheesy cliche. Ambitions are literal transactions. You absolutely cannot get something for nothing in this world. The reality of becoming the person you want to be requires a physical and mental payment. You have to buy your future with your present effort. If you want a result you've never had, you've got to spend a currency you've never spent. It really is just that simple.
So the only question that genuinely matters right now is, are you willing to pay it? No, really, are you actually willing to hand over the currency of your comfort for the goal you claim to want so badly? Take a second and genuinely answer that in your head. Because everyone wants the reward, right? But very few people actually want to hand over the payment at the register. We are in love with the idea of the destination, but man, we deeply resent the cost of the ticket.
So the crucial point is really understanding what that payment looks like on a Tuesday morning. It's not abstract, it's incredibly demanding. Wake up earlier, work harder, train your body, train your mind. That is the itemized receipt for your goals. It's that alarm clock blasting at 5 a.m. when it's freezing cold outside and your bed is just so warm. It's the daily friction you have to deliberately choose to engage with. It's the sweat, the intense focus, the physical exhaustion, and the mental strain. That is the true, non-negotiable cost of your ambition.
Now, if taking those massive steps feels totally overwhelming, we need to break them down into micro-actions. You don't have to conquer the whole world in a single afternoon. You just have to do one more. Read one more page when your eyes are heavy and you just want to turn off the lamp. Run one more mile when your lungs are absolutely burning. Lift one more rep when your muscles are shaking. The psychology of just one more is literally a game changer. It's in pushing past that internal boundary, even just by a tiny fraction, where the actual, tangible growth happens.
Let's actually slow down for a second and really absorb this reality. Every small choice builds the person you'll become. These aren't just isolated little moments of suffering.
In the moment, sure, deciding to skip a workout or mindlessly scroll on your phone feels totally insignificant. But actually, scratch that. It isn't insignificant at all. These tiny, daily, seemingly invisible decisions are the literal bricks in the foundation of your future identity. Every single time you choose the harder path, you are casting a vote for the person you want to be. You're constructing a much stronger version of yourself piece by piece.
Let's zoom out a bit and see how this actually builds over a longer time frame. Day 1 is simply making that one decision to stop making excuses. Fast forward to month 1 and those micro actions, the one more page, the one more mile, they start compounding. They quietly stack on top of each other. And then look at year 1. This is the fascinating part. After a solid year of this invisible, compounding effort, a very specific phenomenon happens. People will start to call you lucky. Public perception is almost always just a delayed, highly flawed realization of your private discipline.
Now, what's really interesting about this contrast is how it highlights the gap between the outside view and your internal truth. The public perception is lucky. It's such a light, almost dismissive word, isn't it? It completely implies the chance just smiled upon you, that you were just handed this great opportunity. But the hidden reality, it is much darker and a whole lot harder. They will never see the mornings you desperately wanted to hit snooze and just quit. They'll never see the late nights you kept pushing when everyone else was asleep, relaxing, and watching TV. The grind is completely invisible. Only the polished result ever goes public.
Which brings us to a complete redefinition of how we view our goals. Success is not luck. It has absolutely nothing to do with the roll of the dice, being born under the right star, or just stumbling into the right place at the right time. We're completely stripping away any element of chance here. Success is, purely and simply, discipline. It is the relentless, highly unglamorous practice of doing exactly what needs to be done, exactly when you least feel like doing it.
This leaves us with a very stark, unavoidable directive. So stop waiting, start becoming. This is a direct command to abandon all of those passive behaviors, because waiting is a passive state, right? It's something that just happens to you. Becoming is an active state. It's something you forge with your own two hands. It is a relentless, ongoing pursuit. This mindset leaves absolutely zero room for hesitation or delay. The time for planning, hoping, and wishing, that's over. The time for execution is right now.
As we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you staring at this final, totally provocative question to chew on. Will the strongest version of yourself start today? The information is in your hands now. The whole motivation myth is officially busted. The excuses are gone, and the literal price of your ambition is crystal clear. The exact moment this explainer ends, what you do next is entirely on you. You can go back to waiting, or you can get to work. So, will you start?